next.
It's the NFL on EA Sports as you take a look there at Lincoln Financial Field in Philadelphia, PA. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And Charles, you look at this Eagles team as they interplay here. They've got all W's on the ledger so far, a perfect 6-0.
Yeah, still a long way to go in this season, but they're showing everyone early on that they intend to be there in the end.
Meanwhile, for the visitors here, the Cowboys, they were losers their last time out. They're going to try to get back in the win column, but obviously they're going to have to do that in a hostile environment.
And sometimes it actually works to your advantage. Now you've got to band together your team, the us against the world mentality. Let's see if they can use it and get a victory.
Getting toward the halfway point of the NFL season, Week 7 is underway on EA Sports. And able to take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. Now we'll see what the right arm of Dak Prescott has in store as the Dallas Cowboys offense sets up shop.
And there was a positive in last week's loss. No interceptions thrown by him. But he only threw one touchdown pass, and you know he wants that to improve. He might even consider that as part of the reason that they couldn't take the win last time out. I believe we'll see a more aggressive version of him this week whenever they're nearing the end zone.
And they'll wind up getting this to the 37, gain of 9. Well, this defense for the Eagles, they were terrific a week ago in the win over Seattle.
Yeah, and what stood out to me on tape, the way they were flying to the football. So that tells me that they've got all their assignments down, and they're playing with extreme confidence.
And they will only muster a yard here to the 38. You look at this Eagle defense. And they've been excellent against the pass, the number 6 unit in the NFL.
This secondary has really developed into one of the strengths of this team. They diagnose, they cover, they run, they hit. What a nice team.
And he will have a Cowboys first down as they're able to get the third down conversion. 3rd and short, so didn't need much, but got a little extra on the backside. Nice run.
Chewed up the yardage, didn't he? To me, that was offensive line with leverage, good blocking angles, taking on a stacked defensive front. And once they chopped that little hole in the beginning, he took it and rambled.
And just the 3rd play from scrimmage, wanted to avoid the 3 and out and did just that. That's good. The completion there for 7 yards, and it'll be 2nd down. Prescott to throw it. Toward the sideline, and he will have the first down as he was able to keep the feet in bounds. It goes as a gain of 8, and it moves the chains. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. On the run, it's Dowdle. This will be a gain of about 8 to the 27-yard line. The Cowboys at 2-4 here in the first half of the year. Charles, they were losers last time out. What do you think they need to do differently here?
Well, I don't think it needs to be as drastic as burning up last week's game tape or not watching it, but the attitude...
Into a sea of defenders had intercepted. And the Eagles will take over here at their own 12-yard line. Well, that is a quick lesson on how difficult this defense is to throw against. An interception on their initial drive of the ballgame.
Now we know why their offensive staff spent the entire week awake trying to prepare for this one, because you can't totally shy away from throwing the football. But at the same time, you're looking at them and going, where are the weaknesses? How are we going to move it?
One of the top defenses in the NFL for a reason. We just saw one example right there. Philly's offense getting ready, and Jalen Hurts ready to lead them. The 2nd-round pick who started his career at Alabama, then finished with an electric senior season at Oklahoma.
But when I reviewed last week's game and saw the 4 touchdown passes that he threw, I thought about you during the Turkey Bowl last year.
Yeah,
you guys
right.
had the same stats, except he got the NFC Offensive Player of the Week award with his.
He got touchdowns, I got picks. I like going back watching the film with you, and we thought it was a good performance in person, obviously was, but you thought even better on tape. It was really something to watch.
Yeah, what I loved was how he spread it around. A lot of people involved in the passing offense. 4 touchdown passes culminated it.
2nd and 1 now from the 21. Brown goes in motion left. Here's Hurts to throw. This one goes out wide for Barkley. And he'll get this up past the 25 before he's out of bounds. Hurts sets up to throw it. And incomplete, a drop there in the middle third of the field. That'll bring up second down. Throwing is Hurts. They'll set up the screen to Barkley. And he's going to lose yardage and be backed up to the 25. 2 yards the loss, and now 3rd and 12. We'll see what they have drawn up here. A little bit behind the line. 12 yards needed to gain a first down. Hurts. And the throw there going to be incomplete. On 4th down, punt coming from Braden Mann. He was only asked to punt once in the victory last week as he sends this one away. Fielded at the 33. It's a 40-yard punt, 6 yards on the return. And the Cowboys will take over the football with a 1st and 10. Second drive forthcoming here for the Dallas Cowboys. Remember last time out they threw the interception on their first drive. Good news, their defense backed him up, so it's still 0-0 here as they begin their second possession. Yeah, and one great way to judge a defense, how do they handle what we call sudden change? When all of a sudden, you know, it goes against their offense and they have to run out in the field and try and put out the fire. Give this one great kudos for getting out there and not letting that interception lead to points. Excellent job by them defensively. First connection there of the afternoon for those two, and it's good for a first down. Many different ways to create space, but on that play, he did it with that big, wide body of his. Didn't get a whole lot of yardage on the play, but it did what it was supposed to. Pick up a first down. And they'll get him down here at about the 42. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3. They run again with Dowdle. And this won't be enough to pick up the first. A gain of 2, 3rd and 1. This is 3rd and 1. Very likely 4-down territory, even if they don't get it, though. They run here with Dowdle. And he's got the first before he's brought down at the 39-yard line. We ought to come up with a T-shirt and sell it that says, no indecision on 3rd and 1. And we didn't see it on that run, did we? Got his shoulders square, just got right into the line of scrimmage and picked it up. Absolutely. Picked his lane, went with it, and converted. To throw is Prescott. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And that's good for a gain of 6, and it'll be 2nd down. Now Prescott. It's hauled in by Brandon Cooks. 7 yards there and a first down. Here's Prescott. He'll get this to his running back, Dowdle. And he'll be tackled at the 23 after a gain of 3. And they'll come up 2nd and 7. To the air again, Prescott. And that is going to be incomplete as he led him a bit too much. Just a little beyond the reach there of his receiver. That's probably one he wishes he had back. He wishes it had been 7-on-7 in practice, or maybe even routes versus air, because that's a completion he makes, what, 9.9 times out of 10? Just missed that one. Yeah, boy, he had the marker square in his sights, but a good tackle's going to leave him about a yard or so short. The screen good for 6, but it's not enough as it leads to a 4th down. They'll run with a rookie from UCLA. And, boy, this is going to be close. That mark looks a little short, and he didn't get there. Mike McCarthy took the gamble, didn't pay off. And the Eagles' defense able to hold. Partner, when you see a running play stop short like that, you just know that the defensive front, they won the battle of leverage and created a push back into the opposing backfield. And for the offensive coordinator, whether you had 1 yard to go or 20 yards to go on 4th down, now you're probably saying, oh, maybe I should have passed it, right? Yeah, hindsight is always 20/20. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. And they come into this one riding that nice long win streak. And remember, next weekend is an open week for them. So if they can get the win here, a lot of momentum into that time off.
It certainly is. And if you're wondering if anybody's saying, boy, this is coming at a bad time, we want to keep playing, the answer can be yes. Because when teams are on a hot streak, they want to keep going. But what the veterans are telling the young guys in the locker room, an open week is always good, guys. Take it, and let's go with it.
And a healthy gain of 8 here. They double their workspace out to the 16. Now 2nd and 9. From the gun, it's Hurts. Gets this out to Saquon Barkley. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. 17 yards and a first down for Philly.
Well, I think when they look at their offense, they think to themselves, weapons everywhere, and they want to move the ball around. They want to spread it to different people, but you absolutely know they want to get this man involved as well, and that's what they just did on that play.
2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
So this game, Charles, you know, we talk about potential unbeaten seasons a lot. It feels like every year at some point in the season we talk about that. But this is one of those games where if you're unbeaten, you got to be careful. You can't take this one too lightly.
You're exactly right about that. And by rights, this should be a cakewalk. Almost a week off. Let the starters run up the score in the first half. Backups get to play in the second. But you and I both know that funny things sometimes happen when you think this way. So it's incumbent upon the starters to really play well to make it work for this team.
Now second quarter action from Philadelphia, and it's the Eagles in possession. 2 first downs have them up near midfield now on 1st and 10. In motion left comes Brown. And he's got this one across midfield into Cowboy territory. Give him 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7. The man in motion is Wright. Throwing from the gun, it's Hurts. Throw left side complete. That's Smith. It'll be a gain of 5. And it makes it 3rd down and 2 yards to go. They'll come to the line needing only 2 yards to gain the first here. They'll try to run for it with Barkley. And he gets it inside the 35 and just shy of the 30. 12 yards is the pickup. Good for an Eagle first down.
That's quite a spot there for his first carry of the game, but obviously they had plenty of faith in him, didn't they?
No question about it. And here, why not go with the fresh legs? Able to push forward, pick up that first. So a solid run by Saquon Barkley, and another 1st and 10 here. Looking to throw. Over the middle here to Brown. And he's got this down almost to the 20 before he's dropped. Now we'll get a stoppage here as it appears we've got an Eagle slow to get up.
The medical staff will attend to him, and we will step aside.
Now on first down, he'll drop to throw it. Escaping the pressure right. He'll get 8 on the scramble there. It'll be 2nd and a couple.
I think the last 2 plays really illustrate how difficult it is to game plan against this guy because you know he can throw the football, but how about his use of legs as well? What we call those broken plays, you can't account for them.
Yeah, those plays, those 2 that you just mentioned, a microcosm really of how he can hurt you. So they don't even need to run a 2nd down play. Give them the first.
And typically when we see this jumping, is it usually 3rd down, 4th down? They got him on 2nd down. I think that's a lack of discipline.
So now then the penalty's got him set up with a 1st and goal. On the option left, it's Hurts. And he'll be stopped just outside the 5 at the 6.
And hold on here, because on that last run, it looks like we have a player who was shaken up. The medical staff is going to come out here and take a look, and we will take a short break.
The 6-yard line, the line of scrimmage on 2nd and goal. In motion left here, one of their tight ends.
On 2nd and goal, here's the option.
And he's going to press this one forward as they stop it right around the 1. It's going to be a gain of 6 on the keeper, but it leads to a 3rd down. Barkley, he's not going to get there. That won't even be close. It was blown up in the backfield. He lost 2, and it brings up 4th.
Just a simple run play there on 3rd and 1, but this D was up to the challenge and stopped him, bringing up 4th down.
And no hesitation about this decision here. Confidently, they're going to go for this. 4th and goal from the 3. And he's in. Touchdown, Eagles. Jalen Hurts, a 3-yard run as he kept it himself.
And the Eagles post the first points of the ball game as they take the lead here in this 2nd quarter.
Well, this is where it pays to have a quarterback you can trust with the ball in his hands. Normally you want him throwing, or at least trying to make this an option. But here, this is a straight run, a QB draw, and he reads things perfectly and takes it into the end zone.
Elliott good with a PAT, and it's now a 7-0 game. So that drive spans 13 plays, and it ends with a 3-yard scoring run. Now a crease here as he's past the 30. And they got to be pleased with this. He brings it all the way up to the 40-yard line. Now, whistles and a stoppage here. Looks like one of the Eagles is in some discomfort out there. Well, now they're going to come out and take a look at this injury, and we'll be back in a moment. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. They've got some stuff to build on from that last drive because they moved the football, CD, and then they tried to go for it on 4th down, didn't convert, probably left a bitter taste in their mouths.
I would say so, and I think that they go out in this series determined for that not to happen again. In fact, they don't even want to get to a 4th down opportunity. They just want to make sure they get it done within the parameters that they've set for themselves. Run their offense, get it into the end zone. Yeah, I think a little bit of determination and a dash of anger.
The Cowboys on 3rd down. They've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 7.
A running play, it's Dowder.
And they get him down about 2 yards shy of the line to gain. A 3rd down pickup of 5.
But now he appears to be in some pain. So as the medical staff takes a look, we'll step aside.
Out now comes the Cowboys punter as he's on to punt for the first time this afternoon. He punted 3 times in the loss last week as he sends this one away. 35 yards that time on the punt. And the Eagles will have it, taking over 1st and 10.
The Eagles offense and running back Saquon Barkley ready to get going again. And he's made his presence felt in the passing game throughout the season. You look at the NFL's leader in receiving yards by a running back. His name right there at the top.
And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete.
That's a really nice job there by the coverage, understanding that they're in a high-stakes situation. If he doesn't make a play on that ball, there's an excellent chance it ends up either as a touchdown or as a nice gain downfield.
Limited running room as he'll get about 3 to the 21.
Well, that's a good start to this drive on the defensive side of the ball.
Forcing completion on 1st down. Then you're able to shut down the running play on 2nd.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised now. A little bit of pressure going at the quarterback on the expected passing situation.
Pass taken in by his big tight end. And he is going to have an Eagles 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
We often hear the phrase sure-handed tight ends, and he certainly fits into that category. Plus, he's got a quarterback who knows to look his way when they need a big pickup. And on this play, he finds him for the 1st down.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. They're going to look to throw. This is Smith with a grab. And he'll be corralled out across midfield down to the 45. 17 more yards. They had 17 on the previous snap as well. So from Cowboy territory now, here's 1st and 10 at the 45-yard line.
Oh, he tried to fit it in on the slant, and it's intercepted. And the Cowboys will take over here as they get it up to the 43-yard line. So this defense coming up with a takeaway, and maybe that's something that can bring a little life to that sideline.
Well, I don't want to say that they've been sleepwalking through this first half because that's simply not true, but you're right. We haven't seen a lot of fire from these guys, really, on either side of the ball. So maybe that's the catalyst that they needed to get them back into this game.
Dallas offense set for this next drive. They'll start in excellent field position following the INT.
They'll start on the ground here on first down.
And a strong run that time as he's across midfield and down to the 43. 67 yards rushing for him as he has been tough to stop here this first half.
So the 14 yards actually takes him from 143 to the other for first and 10. Now Prescott.
Short pass taken in by Schoonmaker.
And Brandon, as you know, sometimes it's a lot tougher to run with these tight ends nowadays in the NFL than just bigger wide receivers. He lined up on the left side of formation, ran a drag route across the field, and tried to work his way open. He was able to make the catch, but the defenders were there. Couldn't do a whole lot with it afterwards.
Just a gain of a couple there. And this will wind up being a 3rd and 3.
Coming up here looking for 3 yards to pick up the first.
Here's Prescott. Hard throw, incomplete. 4th down now looming after Philly's defense stands tall in coverage.
How about this defense? They came up with a couple big plays in this sequence, and none better than the one right there, forcing the incompletion and bringing up 4th down.
And this one looks good. It is good. Right down the pipe. And they are on the board, but still trailing. It's 7-3.
So, Charles, they get to them with their first turnover of the game and then make it hurt a little bit extra with a field goal.
And anytime you give the ball up, what's the first thing a coach tells his defense? Don't let them score off of this. You've got to put out the fire. In fact, in 2021, that's what one NFL coach termed his defense, the firemen. Go out there, guys, and don't let them put some points on the board.
The Eagles offense and their running back getting set for this next possession.
Already at the line, this Philly offense set to go.
Sitting in first place in the division. They've got an open date on the calendar coming up next week. So, Charles, you and I were talking about this before the game. This one for them kind of has some extra importance.
It certainly does, because if they can get the win here and pad their lead a bit or at least keep pace, then they can really kick their feet up and say a job well done at this point and not have to worry about ball at all until they're back in their facility, back in their meeting room, getting ready for the next game.
They'll set up a throw. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's 2nd down. Barkley, inside handoff. They'll get him to the ground at the 20 following a pickup of 4.
When you find that kind of yardage, you couldn't be more confident as a ball carrier. And guess what? You're going to go back and tell your offensive coordinator, I'd like to keep carrying it, thank you.
Eluding the pressure right. And he's going to get this to the 31, but that is still well short of what he needed. A solid run of 11 there as he tucked it and ran, but he's still short of the marker at its 4th.
Well, there were a couple of extra defensive backs in the game, so he really had nowhere to go with the football despite his search for an open receiver. So he has to take off and run for it, but he comes up well short of the line to gain.
On is the punter man as he boots this one away.
Call it 46 yards on the punt, just a single yard on the return as he was covered quickly.
And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over.
So Prescott and the Cowboys now with a 1st and 10 at their own 23. They'll start this drive out on the ground.
And not much doing there, maybe a yard up to the 23.
No doubt about it. A really nice job there by the defense, not allowing him to get to the perimeter. But that means your defensive ends, your outside linebackers, the guys that you pay big money to sack the quarterback, they also have to have interest in the running game as well. And they did a nice job there of holding the point of attack and not giving ground.
Over the middle, it's complete.
9 yards, and that leaves him just short, so it'll be 3rd and less than a yard.
Looking to throw. Prescott.
He's got his target. That's complete. And he will have a Cowboys first down as they're able to convert, albeit not by much, on 3rd and a yard.
Throwing. Prescott. Buying time to his left.
And he'll be tackled right on the chalk of the 45.
Now the Cowboys going to burn the first of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next.
Pass complete to Jalen Tolbert.
And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30.
A big completion there against double coverage. And Charles, one of those guys had a pick on him earlier.
Yeah, so he didn't allow that to deter him at all, did he? In fact, it probably was a challenge. Okay, you got to pick me for? It's my turn now to make the big play, and that's exactly what he did.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Might have gotten this one down to the 28, and that's all. The Cowboys going to use their 2nd timeout now, as the clock will stop with 35 seconds to go in quarter number 2. Prescott. Flush to his right. The coverage may be too good that time as he breaks away for 19 with his legs and a 1st down. And with just 4 seconds left in this first half, a timeout call.
This is where the NFL is headed year by year, partner. A league where just about everyone has someone under center who can get you with their legs as well as their arm. And we've certainly had a nice display of that from both QBs in this game. And that continued with that 1st down run.
So, yes, they'll still be down going into intermission, but the deficit is now made even smaller, very manageable.
Yeah, and if nothing haywire happens here in his last couple of precious seconds, they will go into the locker room with a nice bounce in their step, having gotten a little bit closer on the scoreboard.
And no run back here. That's going to be a touchback, and we'll bring it out to the 30-yard line.
The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. They'll throw now on the final play. He's going to let this one go deep.
Oh, he had a man running free, but he overshot him, and it's incomplete.
So a very tight first half. We had to break in a 1-point game. As we'll get you down the coast to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much. A lot to get to here as some of the division races starting to take shape as we look around the NFL here in week number 7. We'll get our tour started out at venerable Soldier Field in Chicago, where it was the visiting Lions who come in and get the road victory. Jared Goff, 3 touchdown passes as his guys stay unbeaten on the year. The Eagles were led in the first half by their dynamic quarterback, Jalen Hurts. He was able to take it in himself for the game's only touchdown. And you wonder if this coaching staff will ask him to do a bit more the rest of the way.
Okay, Coach, thanks as always. This one's still anyone's game as we welcome you back for quarter number 3. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line. The Eagles offense and receiver Devontae Smith set for this next possession. And he's been the go-to guy in this offense throughout the first half of the season. As you can see, he's the NFL's leader in touchdown catches.
Already at the line, this Philly offense set to go.
And Charles, they've got the lead. Put your coaching hat on here now. What's the game plan for the second half?
I think getting the running game going a little bit more, because I thought in the first half they didn't get it moving the way that they would like. They had success throwing it, but I think these first couple of drives, they'll want to get those running backs going and give them more opportunities, and I will guarantee you that those guys were lobbying for them in the locker room at halftime.
And Goddard going to have an Eagles first down as he's up to the 44-yard line.
They'll look to throw now on first down.
He delivers another to Goddard, complete.
And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. They go right back to him for 20 and a first.
And this was a nice example of an offensive coordinator scheming his guy open. Just a little underneath route, just trying to free up some space, and it worked awfully well. Got him not just space, but plenty of room to run after the catch to pick up really nice yardage.
Here's Hurts to throw.
This will be caught by Brown. And he works it past the 30, almost to the 25. 2 catches in the first half. Now he's got a third here, and it's good for a first.
Hurts sets up to throw it. And he'll get this underneath, dropping it off for Barkley.
So the completion good for 7 there, and it'll be second down. So 5 plays on this drive, Charles. All passes, all completions. And just like that, they're in the red zone.
And don't you think the playbook opens up a little bit more now? Because all they've done is throw the football. If you want to run it now, you may very well have them fools.
And able to get this down inside the 15, either the 13 or 14 before he's out of bounds.
Here's a 1st and 10 at the 14-yard line. Hurts.
And it's incomplete. Boy, he doesn't drop many like that one. Second down.
Now a 2nd and 10.
Up the middle with Barkley. And he'll fight his way down right around the 12. They do get a couple, but they'll be left staring at a 3rd and 8 coming up.
Throwing is Hurts.
They'll set up the screen to Barkley. And they're able to corral him right around the 8, and that's short of the first down. 5 yards, not enough, and it'll be 4th down.
Boy, that was certainly well-read defensively, and the key to any screenplay is space to work, and there was none to be found there, and they tackle him for just a short gain.
The kick by Elliott is good, and they bump the lead up to 4 now at 10-6. Well, looking at it from a defensive perspective, that keeps the deficit very, very manageable. You know, all things considered, not a bad job on the defensive side.
I would say that you've pointed out something pretty good right there, and that is you actually have both sides happy with that exchange. You know, happy in quotes, of course. One team, hey, we've kept it within range. The other side saying, hey, we put points on the board and did stretch out the lead. Let's see how this one turns out.
Yeah, still bottom line, though, 3 points for the opening drive of the 3rd quarter. You can just kind of sense the momentum turning here. It's 1st and 10. They'll start this drive out on the ground. And some room to maneuver. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down.
88 yards rushing for him in the ball game now on 14 carries. That's caught out wide by Cooks.
And past the 35, he'll be dropped a yard or 2 shy of the 30. Another nice gain. That's now 30 yards between those last 2 plays. On 1st down, they'll go to the ground attack.
And he gets forward up the middle, but only for a couple. It'll be 2nd down. Got it here at the 29 on 2nd and 8.
To throw is Prescott. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And he has another 1st down as they'll get the ball down to the Eagles' 14. Give them 15 there, and the Cowboys have a 1st.
Another nice play there. They've gotten down into the red zone in no time at all. That's what this offense can do when they get on a roll. And now they're set up with a 1st and 10.
On 1st down, they'll go to the ground attack. And they get to him quickly here as he stopped right around the 13.
They work now on 2nd and 9.
And they'll keep leaning on the running game back to the ground. And this play goes nowhere. Losing yardage back to the 15. 7th play of this drive coming up, but a long way to go on 3rd down. Prescott now. And this is caught for a Cowboy touchdown. A great play there. His 4th touchdown on the year.
And the Cowboys have taken the lead here this 3rd quarter.
Well, they had their chances in the first half, you remember, but had to settle for 2 field goals. This time they come away with 6.
I think they actually got affirmation about what they were doing by getting a touchdown, because the field goals means they got in range. but couldn't quite finish it off. This time, they broke through, and that's great for the old confidence.
And on the sideline, difference of a feeling between 3 and 6, is it astronomical or no?
It can be at times, that's for sure. A lot of times the field goal feels like a disappointment. The touchdown, well, that tells you you're getting it done.
So after the touchdown, Aubrey now to kick this one away. And makes it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line.
Philadelphia getting set to take the field. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
It's Barkley on the counter. And he got blown up on that play. Back at the 20. This will be a loss of 3, and now a much tougher 3rd down looming.
And not an easy spot here. They'll be in search of 13 yards to try to pick up the first.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw.
Oh, and that is incomplete.
The Eagles send out their punter now as he's on here to punt it away. Fair catch called for and made at about the 32-yard line.
The Cowboys offense and running back Rico Dowdle headed back onto the field. And you have to imagine this defense saying, how do we stop this guy? He has run roughshod through him to this point in the 3rd quarter.
The Dallas offense here set to begin the drive.
This drive here beginning probably with a pair of motivated groups. Remember, the offense scored a touchdown on their last time out. Looking to repeat that in Charles's defense. They were very frustrated after giving up 6 the last time on the field.
And frankly, it's just a battle of wills in a lot of ways because you know they're both motivated. They both game plan for this drive, and they both have specific outcomes in mind. To me, it just comes down to who can execute better and which side can step up and assert its will over the other.
So that flag obviously takes away the good yardage that they had on the play.
And talk about a momentum shift because we can visibly see this celebration shifting from one side of the field to the other as soon as everyone saw the flag.
They get 7 out of that, so they're left with a 3rd and 3. Prescott to throw it. And he's got his man in stride, complete.
And he will have a Cowboys first down by a couple of yards as they're able to convert here on 3rd and 3.
Now we'll get a stoppage here as it appears we've got an Eagle slow to get up. On 1st down, they'll go to the ground attack. And across the midfield stripe into Eagle territory.
96 yards rushing for him now in the ball game. Here's 2nd and 3.
Now Prescott. Over the middle into traffic, and that's complete. And he has another first down as they'll get the ball down to the Eagles' 37.
Hands it off out of the gun.
And this will go as a gain of 7 as he gets it to the 30-yard line.
Boy, where would these guys be without his performance on the ground? That puts him over 100 yards now for the afternoon, and I tell you, he seems to be getting stronger as the day goes along.
Here's Prescott. And he will find his man on the outside. He's up to 88 yards receiving in the ball game now, and he's got a first down. And as they come to the line, they will not be able to get off another play as time has run out on this 3rd quarter. This is the National Football League on EA Sports. And welcome back. We are in the city of brotherly love, Philadelphia. It's been a very hotly contested game to this point. Just a field goal separating these two teams as we get set for the 4th quarter. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2.
And now we're going to get a stoppage. A member of the Cowboys shaken up. While they come out and take a look at him, we will step aside for just a moment. More muscle up front for this 2nd and 2. They've got 3 tight ends out there.
And they'll give him another shot here on the ground. And he's eaten up at the line of scrimmage. Might have gotten a yard down to the 16.
The Cowboys on 3rd down. They've had good success, 5 for 8 to this point. They're looking at 3rd and a few inches.
Now a toss here, short side. And they work this near the 5. He'll be stopped at the 6.
Holding, offense.
The Cowboys on 3rd down. They've had good success, 5 for 8 to this point. This is 3rd and 8.
Out of the gun, they'll look to throw.
Oh, he had a man open. He overshot it. It's incomplete.
Looked like they were set up defensively in a zone coverage, but somehow they found a seam because that receiver all alone. By rights, that should have been a touchdown, but somehow this ball's overthrown.
And his kick is indeed good, and that extends their advantage to 6. It's 16-10. So they get the 3, but you wonder now, is that going to be enough?
Excellent question, because when I look at the smiles on that side of the field, they're a little tight, aren't they? If they had scored a touchdown there, those would be big half-moon grins right now because they feel a whole lot better about their position.
And a touchdown in the other direction, all of a sudden they're down.
And a nice return sets them up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line.
The Eagles offense now, they head back on the field.
These guys definitely hoping for a better showing than their last appearance. They couldn't really even move the football much beyond the shadows of their own goalpost, Charles. We'll see if they can get a better, more sustained drive going here.
Yeah, and every team that we ever talk to says the exact same thing. When you start a drive from that deep in your own territory, the goal is a minimum of at least 2 first downs, because even if you have to punt then, you change the field position, right? You flip the field a little bit. They didn't get that done. This time they want to string together a nice drive and help themselves out.
He's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on first down.
2nd down and a little more than a yard here.
At their 49-yard line.
A handoff to Barkley on the option.
And he'll be brought down at the 48-yard line. 2 yards on the pickup, and that's all they needed to move the sticks.
That's good for an Eagles first down. First and 10.
They'll look to throw here. He's got Dallas Goedert, his tight end, over the middle. And he gets it inside the 35 and just shy of the 30. The Eagle passing game looking good on this drive. It's a first down.
And here we are in the 4th quarter, partner, and we're watching them drive for what would be a go-ahead touchdown. And you and I both know this is where you need a quarterback who can keep his cool back there. Not just for himself, but to keep the rest of the team relaxed too.
Back to throw now on first down. And this one complete to Smith. Touchdown, Philadelphia.
Devontae Smith,
31 yards.
And the Eagles are an extra point away from taking the lead here in the 4th.
I think if you polled defensive backs, they would say the corner route, take that out, make it illegal, because that is so hard to recognize and so hard to adjust, because your first move is to not get beat in the middle of the field, and that's how they move you first before they break off to the corner.
But then as the wide receiver, great job. It's tough to turn those upfield and go, but he did a great job with it there.
Really good balance, really good body control, and how about the end result? A touchdown.
Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away.
And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28. The Cowboys offense and their running back getting ready to go back to work. And he has put in a full game's work and then some. Just an incredible performance on the ground to this point in the 4th quarter.
About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense.
And they will be looking to answer the touchdown their defense just surrendered. Still a good chunk of time remaining here in the 4th quarter and a chance to regain the lead in a tight one. Now a 2nd and 2.
Now Dak on the option left. And he'll only get a yard to bring up 3rd and 1.
Well, praise has to go to the guys on the offensive line because they've had a very nice, productive day running the football. How about that poor defensive line? They've been knocked around the entire game, and while they slowed them down on that run, can they continue to do so? Because they haven't had much success throughout this ball game.
He's letting it fly for Cooks. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete.
That was for the lead right there. They know they're in a position where fortune favors the brave. So they took their shot, but couldn't connect.
So they're forced to punt on 4th as this one's away. Call that a 41-yard punt, 6 yards on the return.
And it will be Eagles football, 1st and 10. The home team's offense and Jalen Hurts ready to take over once more. And he has been masterful so far in leading this offense. He's kept the mistakes to a minimum. He's been on point with his passes, and he's generally been one step ahead of this defense all game long.
And this will leave him a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on 1st down.
Just need a yard here, 2nd and 1.
Brings up 2nd and 1 at the 36-yard line.
Back to throw.
And this one is going to be off the mark, too far out in front.
He was trying to get it to A.J. Brown that time, and it's 3rd and short.
So they just need 1 yard here to pick up the 1st down. They'll run the option on 3rd and short yardage.
And he's got the 1st down as he's up to the 45-yard line. They get 9 out of that one, and as a result, the drive continues.
1st and 10 at the 45-yard line.
A 1st down carry for Barkley. And he'll be taken down just shy of midfield. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on 1st down.
From just shy of midfield, here's 2nd down and 5.
From the shotgun, he'll look to throw.
Oh, and Hurts is going to be hit and taken down to the ground. Getting home that time to Marvin Overshown.
Chalk that up as their first sack in this game, and they tallied 4 a week ago.
And probably not as much exultation in that sack as what took us so long. Because when you get 4 the previous week, you're counting on continuing that momentum. They didn't get that done in the first half of the game. Let's see now if they start to bring even more exotic pressure towards the quarterback.
And he's going to have another 1st down here as the tackle's made at the Cowboys' 45-yard line. So there you go. Save your best scramble of the day for a big-time situation in the 4th quarter, picking up the 1st.
You don't want to use it up early, right? You want to make sure you save it for that exact moment, that key time. And that's what he did, although you and I both know it wasn't planned that way. But what a nice job using his eyes, scanning the field, and realizing when it was time to exit the pocket and go.
And he's going to be marked down just inside the 35.
11 more yards that go around, a 1st down as well.
Throwing from the gun, it's Hurts.
This short throw caught by Goddard. And he'll be out of bounds as he gets it down to the 30 there.
Ball on the 30 now. Here's a 2nd down and 6.
This short throw caught by Goddard.
Now whistles and a stoppage here. Looks like one of the Eagles is in some discomfort out there. Well, hopefully, obviously nothing serious here. Medical staff, though, going to take a peek, and we'll take a break.
So offensively on this drive, 2 of 2 on 3rd downs, and now they face a 3rd and inches. The slot man in motion right.
From the gun, it's Hurts.
And that is incomplete. And here's a big one now. Try to hold this lead. They're going to go for it here on 4th down. Again, he'll drop to throw.
Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete.
And he'll be taken down, but he does have 1st down yardage.
1st and 10 at the 19-yard line.
Back to throw again. Got a man, and he hits him in stride.
And the Eagles are going to have a 1st and goal as he'll be taken down at the 7-yard line.
So first and goal, 6 points here would go a long way toward wrapping this one up.
Brown goes in motion left. Here's a fake on the jet sweep as he'll go instead with Barkley.
And he's brought down right at the 5-yard line. Give him 2 on the play. And the ball smack dab on the 5-yard line. Here's second and goal. Another try for Barkley. And the hole closes quickly here. He can fight only to about the 4.
Fourth quarter, 2 minutes on the clock in a tight 1-point game.
So it's Eagle football here as we get you reset. A lot of tired bodies on that field, but this is a big play, third and goal. And he'll take it into the end zone for an Eagles touchdown.
Jalen Hurts
taking it in from 4 yards out.
And the Eagles get an important score there to extend their lead here in this fourth quarter.
Well, that was absolutely ideal for them, wasn't it? Trying to salt this game away. I think one of my kids just graduated in the amount of time they had the football. That was absolutely impressive.
Everybody wants those salt away the game drives. What makes them successful?
Well, when you're able to mix run pass, when you're able to control the football and stay ahead of the chains, I'm using every cliche I know, but that's how you get it done because you're not taking negative plays, and that way you're able to run what you want to run when you get a chance to call it.
Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away.
And they'll get him down inside the 30 at the 27. The Cowboys offense and their wide receiver getting set for this next possession. And he's looking to finish strong. He has been the star of the show as they have just had absolutely no answers for him defensively.
The Dallas offense here set to begin the drive. And the points, they have come fast and furious in this quarter.
You really don't want to be on the defensive side of the ball right now, do you? Because you're either thinking, my replacement may get an opportunity.
Your head better be on a swivel.
Totally. Or maybe I just need to get out of the game for a while because I just can't slow these guys down. They've got to figure out a way to disrupt these offenses. And typically, one guy makes a big play, and that can help change things.
They'll be looking for disruption on both sides right now. Now the Cowboys going to burn the first of their timeouts.
Prescott,
as he'll get a chance to talk it over after picking up the first down. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. The Cowboys going to use their second timeout now as they stop it here with 1:07 remaining.
Finding Tolbert here over the middle.
And to the 36-yard line, taken down there after getting 8 yards.
They come up now on 2nd and 2.
And that is incomplete. A couple extra defensive backs out there in the dime, and because of that, really not many places to throw the football, if any.
And typically, what would you want to do against that dime?
Run the football.
You want to run the ball, but you can't do it in this situation. Not nearly enough time on the clock. You having to really navigate against a tough defense presented against you.
And he has another first down as they'll get the ball down to the Eagles' 19. The Cowboys signal for their third and final timeout. And as the two teams talk it over on their respective sidelines, we take a break.
Final minute, no timeouts at their disposal. Here's 1st and 10.
It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
Limited time left on the clock after that incompletion, so I think both sides are going to savor every second to prepare before the next snap. Because once the ball's in motion, it may be a nonstop push to finish this drive off. Everyone better be on the same page right now.
And he can't get a throw off. He's taken down. What a huge play at this point in the game. Flushed out right. Oh, no, he lost the football. And this will go out of bounds. How about that for an ending? Wild finish. Came down to the final play. But on that crazy note, this game is over.
This one came right down to the wire, and CD, they had that one final chance to try to navigate their way into the end zone, but couldn't get it done to avoid the loss.
Yeah, and how about the defense there? Because while they had one final look at the end zone, The defense made sure they knew what they were doing on the last play, executed it flawlessly, and no flags. Because remember, if there's a defensive penalty, there's one play left in the game that the offense gets. They didn't allow that to happen.
So for the Eagles, their winning ways continue as they get it up to 7-0. And they'll be able to enjoy this one through the bye week before they get back at it again. Meanwhile, for the Cowboys, they dipped to 2-5 now with the loss. And they'll look to regroup next week as they head to MetLife Stadium to take on the New York Giants. So for Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Next game, guess what? Charles and I will be here again. It's the NFL on EA Sports.